Oh, man, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It is a lot going on. We are so happy to have Roland Martin on this morning. Y'all help me welcome award-winning journalist, digital media mogul, managing editor, and host of the Roland Martin Unfiltered, the one and only Roland Martin. What up, Roland?
Good morning.
Hey. Big day yesterday. Biden and Trump had some big wins. What is your take on the election results?
Well, first and foremost, yesterday was a foregone conclusion at the top of the ticket that Biden and Trump were going to win. As a result, Nikki Haley's announcing today she's dropping out of the race. Yesterday's Super Tuesday was really about down ballot races. You got the Holocaust denier and the man who has derided the civil rights movement in North Carolina, Republican Mark Robinson. He is the gubernatorial nominee there. You've got Republican Steve Garvey, former baseball player, Congressman Adam Schiff. They're going to go against each other for the U.S. Senate race in California. Then, of course, you got other down ballot races, DA races, judicial races. And so that's really what Super Tuesday was about. Top of ticket, we knew exactly what was gonna happen there. You got Congressman Colin Allred, a brother who was going to be running against Senator Ted Cruz for the United States Senate in Texas. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee in Houston, she beat her challenger Amanda Edwards convincingly there as well. And so you sort of see that. So you really haven't seen a lot of surprises across the country, but you have had some progressive district attorneys that won their primaries that are going to go on to the general as well. The real issue, though, is turnout. Texas, 17.9 million registered voters, only 1.8 million people voted. And so the question is, but that's the reason that happens like that when you don't have a contested top of the ticket, it impacts everything down ballot. So Democrats and Republicans are going to be focused on trying to get their people out to vote in November. And so turnout, intensity is going to be a critical issue, especially in our community as well.
Okay, so Roland, I got a question for you, Special K. A lot of political analysts are being very hyperbolic and dramatic about the conversation around this 2024 election. And I've seen it spoken as a battle between continued democracy and a Russian-style authoritarian rule. What's really at stake in this 2024 election, in your opinion?
Exactly what you just said. Donald Trump has made it perfectly clear. He said, yes, I'm going to be a dictator. He said flat out day one, he is deporting Palestinians. He's deporting Muslims. He's deporting migrants. And you have that. This is a man who did try to overthrow the election in 2020. And also, his Christian fundamentalists plan on initiating something called Project 2025. Y'all really ought to do something, and we should talk about that more. Project 2025. They want to actually get all government employees to sign an oath pledging to abide by MAGA. That's a lot of black people. And if they don't sign it, they made it clear they're going to fire them. So these folks are not playing, okay? They right now in D.C., they've been studying his 4 years, what they did wrong, and they plan on changing a lot of that stuff. And so what Biden has to do, he is going to have to make the argument, why do I deserve another 4 years? What specifically are you going to do for African Americans? So the Biden campaign has got to get far more aggressive than what they've done so far. Vice President Kamala Harris, she's been out on the road. She's been the reproductive tour, the HBCU tour. So she's been very good. But the Biden folks have got to be more aggressive. And I've made it clear to them. I've said it on my show. They've got to be talking to black radio. They've got to be talking about what they are going to do. And so the enthusiasm gap is real. And because you got a lot of Democrats who say, well, I think he's too old. Listen, I remember when Reverend Jesse Jackson said in 1984 Democratic National Convention, I would rather have FDR in a wheelchair than Reagan on a horse. If Biden should be saying, yeah, I know I'm old. I was old when I ran last time, but this is what I have accomplished. They aren't saying that enough, and they've got to be far more aggressive in doing that because guess what? They may lose.
Yeah. Roland, I have a question. I'm concerned about key swing states? Because with elections, we see it comes down to that. What would you say are some warning signs we're seeing for both candidates in some of the key swing states? Yes.
7 states. It's going to come down to North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada. Those are the critical 7. Now, remember, Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton in 2016 because he won by only 77,000 votes in 3 states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, as well as Michigan. Biden won in 2020 by basically very small margins by about 110,000 votes in Arizona, Nevada, Georgia. He only lost North Carolina by 2.5 points. Now, you got a crazed, deranged black Republican running in North Carolina. Again, Biden-Harris, they should be going hard in North Carolina, but not ignoring rural North Carolina. Don't just go to Charlotte and Durham and Raleigh. No, they've got to hit rural North Carolina because black folks live there too. So the black vote could make the difference in Georgia. Same thing, in North Carolina, but same thing in Georgia. And so they've got to have a key strategy in these. And let me be perfectly clear. White Democratic strategists have got to stop hoarding the money when it comes to the campaign, when it comes to DSCC, DCCC, Democratic Governors Association, all these PACs, and they've got to put the money on the ground. Listen, you're not going to win by radio. You're not going to win by television ads. You're going to win by going to the people. The money has got to be invested in black radio. It's got to be invested on the ground in black newspaper, black digital, because, again, if you look at the numbers, black turnout has dropped in the last 4 elections since Obama ran in 2012. They can't just roll Obama out with a speech and think we're going to vote. It has to be an investment, but they have to be speaking to the issues that we are concerned about and what you're going to accomplish over the next 4 years. Young voters, I need y'all to wake up. Gen Z and millennials are the largest group of voters. Texas in 2022, 75% of all young voters under the age of 30 did not vote. And so if you are a young voter and you keep saying, well, I'm tired of these old folks running stuff, well, you got to step up and vote. You can vote them out. You can vote for your candidates. And so the power is literally sitting in our hands. And there's somebody who's going, man, this voting stuff don't matter. Well, guess what? The right's voting. Guess what? They voted when it came to those Supreme Court positions, and that's how they overturned Roe v. Wade. That's how they overturned affirmative action. We got to understand policy is tied directly to who's in power.
Roland, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Folks, watch the Roland Martin Unfiltered and the Black Star Network every night, 6 p.m. Eastern. Get our app. Go to youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. We talk about this every single day on my show for 2 hours on the network all day, 7 days a week. Black Star Network.
That is Roland Martin, y'all. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.